I need everybody to know there ain't nothing like the Katie Bowe Show. Oh, Katie Bowe Show.
What's going on? I am KD Bowe. This is Rod Minger.
Hilarious.
Tiny, a.k.a. Indescribable.
Drop it low.
Jesus. Yeah. It's KD Bowe Show live from the Content Factory. Man, episode 6. Episode 6, and we are in the building. Weekends. I know you were in Birmingham at Stardome. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. Stardome Comedy Club in Birmingham, Alabama. I was out there with Steve Brown, Raheem Holtz, and a young lady by the name of Camilla Davis.
No.
And mostly sold out for most of the weekend, man. It was pretty dope, man. Worked out a lot of new material. Tiny came down. Heard one of my friends told you drove down with Jazz. It was really dope.
So I got to ask, because he's being super, super, super humble right now. Tell me, did he slay or did he slay?
Now, I'm not one to toot anyone's horn. I'm not an ego stroker.
I'm not a horn tooter.
But, on a scale of 1 to 10, I can't give him a 10 because nothing's perfect.
Right,
but I can give him a solid 9.7.
9.7.
No, It was really good, though. It was fun. The timing was good. I think I was telling the girls that I went with, I said, this is the first time I've ever been to a comedy show, and I think everybody was consistently good. Everybody
really
wasn't phenomenal, knocked it out the park, but everybody was consistently good, and it was a really good show. The jokes were relative. They had crowd participation.
Wow.
So it was a really fun time. I'm
Really?
glad I went. Yep. It was worth the drive.
I don't know if I ever asked you why comedy was the best option for you.
It's a weird question I get asked all the time because I didn't choose.
Well, then don't answer it then. If it's weird, Rod.
This is a weird question because it wasn't like I felt like that was the answer. I think
comedy chose you.
No, I wasn't like that either. That's like that fake answer people give at the end.
Super arrogant. I was about to say. I was hoping you would.
You know what? But people say that when they go to Greek interest meetings. This fraternity is choosing me. No, it didn't. You picked the one that you wanted to do.
Your daddy said if you do anything else, you're not paying for it. So.
But I didn't grow up wanting to do comedy. I just wanted to do theater. But I was funny to like my friends. You know what I mean? So I just thought that's where it stopped because my family's funny. Like my grandmother's funny. My grandfather was funny. And then I did this play where I played a comedic character, and I was getting a standing ovation every night.
Really?
Yeah.
What play was it?
There was a play called Torn. It was starring Dorsey Levens, Rashawn Ali, Lisa Wu.
I did the commercial.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That was the first time I heard your voice.
Wow.
Yeah, see.
Full circle moments here at the Katie Bowe Show.
Crazy, right?
So
wow.
yeah. So
I put you on.
Nah, you didn't put
here
me
we
on.
go.
You did the voiceover for the commercial.
I made you.
You made the commercial that's in the play that I did. That was funny.
You would be nothing without me.
I mean, the might have not had a commercial on that particular station, but we'd have had one on another one.
But I was on all of the stations.
But that commercial came on different stations. It wasn't always you. That was a woman as well. You want to give her credit? You want to give her flowers as well?
Actually, it was me that produced her voice.
Oh, then there's that. And then there's that.
That's okay.
Yeah, and then there's that.
Some points or something should be coming. So I'm really proud of man because I saw some of the stuff, some of the videos. What was this about? Why we doing that?
Oh yeah, so that's a joke I got about old school versus the new school. You know, the new school kids, they don't really have to.
Yeah, I got you. I want to know why you're doing that.
It's part of the joke. It was a good joke. I'm an old drum major, man, so I can dance. I'm a beast.
Yeah, I say it humbly as I know how. You're right.
I'm a beast, man. I'm a beast. I can do these things. Some secret talents.
All right.
I'm paying for it now. My knees hurt right now. But,
okay. I say as soon as he hit them shots, I said, he gonna be hurting in the morning.
Yeah, it wasn't the best morning. I woke up in sections. You make that noise right there. Everything. Yeah, that was me getting.
I'd be embarrassed sometimes, man, when I'm sitting down and I make that noise. I'm like, God, I'm old now,
man.
I think I'm old. Like we do that. That one right there.
No, it's when you get
that's a relief. That's what that is. I'm tired of standing up.
Hey.
My old ass is ready to sit down. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Progressive commercial where the guy tells the 40-year-old dude to sit down, and the dude sit down and goes, Did you feel that? Did you like that?
Yeah. You're your parents or something like that, right?
Oh, I have seen that commercial. He said, I'm trying to keep you from being your parents.
See that?
Just sit down. Man, that dude is hilarious to me.
Quinoa is the word is quinoa.
No. He's like, no.
No fussing, no cussing.
Let me tell you why that blesses me every time. When he throws that in the can, the sound of the trash can, click, pop, out. Like, shut up. I'm sick of it.
I need to relook at this.
I'm going to find it for you.
I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, the sound effects are incredible. Weekend, how was it?
Well, I went to a comedy show, and it was great.
Who was performing?
Well, I don't know if you know this guy, Rod Minger.
Never heard of him.
Oh, okay. Well, he was actually pretty good.
Wow.
He's pretty good.
It's the disrespect for me.
No, it really was a fun time. We road trip, did a little girl trip thing. So that was fun. I also went Saturday. I had a doggy play date with my puppy. And so that was pretty fun. I went to, there's a bar called Atlantis. I don't know if you guys, or a lounge or whatever. There's a lounge called Atlantis in Buckhead. And I went there, which was interesting to witness. So as soon as we went in there, the music was already too loud. And I instantly felt old because the lady, she was like, how many? And I was like, what'd she say? And she was like, how many of y'all going to, like she knew what she was saying. I was like, I don't read lips, ma'am. And so that's when I knew that I really don't like being out because I don't like the loud music. There was like this section, some chick was getting married. They were lit. That's
the fun.
The odd thing was I wasn't sure of the age group of the women because some of them looked like they might have been my age or younger. And then some of them were like well into their 50s. And they were all
twerking.
Lit. Like this two chicks got up on like the table and started twerking. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, please don't put no chips in my steak because I didn't sign up for none of that. Just shake it over there. Because, it's already not a whole lot of space. But, that's how I really solidified me being old. I was so annoyed. Shout out to them for having a wonderful time. They was turned, and I appreciate the lituation. But I still was like, I'm ready to go.
Did they recognize you and say, hey, that's indescribable. Come on over here.
I try my best to be unrecognizable in any way. I try to be just plain as I can be.
Yeah.
As much as possible. Because it's not that I don't like it. It's always weird. Because it's never enough people that recognize me at the same time. It's always one person like, oh my God, you're that girl from Instagram. And then the other 80,000 people are like, who? So it's just unnecessarily awkward.
Where's the weirdest place either one of you have been recognized?
Oh my gosh. The doctor's office, man. It's terrible.
Oh no.
It's the worst. Because so my name is
Kenneth.
Well, okay, good. It's Kenneth. Got you. But I go by KD Bowe on the radio. So when people see the Bowe, they're like, oh, yeah, it's like the guy on the radio. Oh, yeah. I hear that all the time. Try to change the voice. And then they find out that it's you, and you realize, wow, yep, you're going to be looking at all my charts, and you're going to see all of the times in my life in which I've made some awful decisions, and they had to be rectified. It's terrible. The doctor's office and the bank, terrible, especially when I was going through my drought season. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, it's terrible. Terrible.
What about you, Tanya?
I would say the weirdest place was I was actually in a parking lot. Which for future reference, don't do that. Don't sneak up on people and say, oh, I know you. Like, especially at nighttime.
Facts.
That's not okay. But yeah, she was like, I saw your car and I wanted to say something. I'm like, it's getting worse. Goodbye, ma'am. So I thought that was weird. But other than that, I actually got recognized one time while I was waiting tables a few years ago. Oh, terrible experience.
Really?
Yeah. It was just weird. Because I was waiting tables, and they were like, oh, my God, you're the funny girl from Instagram. No, ma'am, I'm a server at Papa Dough. I'm a server at Papa Dough. Again, a bunch of people who have no clue, just one person super excited, and I'm just like, thanks.
Yeah,
I've had two. One was similar to yours. It was I had a new doctor who went to get a physical exam, and I had my mask on and my hood on.
Oh, this is recent?
This was recent. And I'm filling out paperwork, and this lady walks by twice. Then she stops. She says, are you that dude that be doing that thing with the hat? I was like, yeah. I'm like, yes, as I pull my mask down. She's like, oh, that's so funny. Me and my girls be sharing those. What you doing here?
Oh.
I'm here to get my whistle looked at.
You're like, ma'am, that's not, you can't ask nobody that.
I'm here to get my whistle looked at, ma'am. Appreciate
okay?
you.
It's that barber sauce.
Appreciate you for,
it's up that barber sauce.
It's that barber
I
sauce.
appreciate you for noticing, but yeah, about to get my whistle checked.
Yeah,
okay?
oh my gosh, it's awful.
And then the second place, I was using the bathroom at a Braves game.
No, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so the urinal or the stall?
The stand-up joint.
The urinal.
So yeah, so dude like one over, and he just doing
so
it. He was following
space.
code to be looking this way.
Gotcha.
And then he just came. I guess in his peripheral, he's like, "Yo, the dude, you be doing the videos, YouTube."
Not with his thing in his hand.
It's in his hand, and so he had pointed at me with the right hand. Yo, Joe, funny man, you funny.
He Sir. What'd you say?
He went for the
What'd you
fence.
say?
I stopped. I sucked whatever pee I had left back in.
Okay, first of all,
And then I had to go to another place. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that.
I had to pull it back in. I had to stop right there.
That
Like,
is
I'm
disgusting.
out of here. This is out of control. Sir, you're not making introduction. You could have waited till I got through peeing.
Yeah.
You couldn't wait a couple more seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he really had it out there like you
Yeah.
know, it was one of like trying to make me feel guilty. Like, really? You just,
I would have looked at
just
him.
go, I'm like, bro,
But you got your whole
you
joint.
got your member out. Your member's out, sir.
Wow, that's terrible.
So now I just realized I got recognized both times.
Oh, wait. Did it have the
No, I had the
walls?
Things. Yeah, the things.
Don't you hate it, man?
It's like
when they don't have the walls there.
They are like that at the Hawk Stadium.
Oh, I can't stand. And the Falcons
Yeah,
too.
it's weird. It's like, yo, this is not elementary school.
Yo, they got a whole bathtub
like a little tub.
trough.
It's a tub.
Oh, it's the worst thing in the
It's
world.
a long bathtub.
For
It's
y'all to just pee into?
Yeah, just walk up.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
just, and act like you don't see anybody else there.
Yep.
Like a little.
Keep your eyes straight ahead. But this is Atlanta. You know somebody gonna peep. And I'd be like, oh God, because you can't watch them peeping you, because now you got to handle it. You got to deal with it. Hey, what you looking at? You know, you want to say that, but you can't say that.
That is
Because
disgusting.
if I'm looking at you, then I know you looking at me, and
Correct.
it's just
It's
crazy.
the whole situation.
So I just stand there. I just wait to go in the stall, man. I just can't. It's too much pressure. Yeah, it's too much pressure for me.
those are my moments.
Yeah. My weekend was pretty good, man. I kind of low key doing a lot of paperwork, a lot of taxes and stuff like that, repositioning ourselves for this next phase. But what was interesting is we had a couple to come over to the tent, and it was cool, man. And it turned into sort of like a counseling session, and it was a really great it was a really great conversation. But what I realized is this, that a lot of times, man, most of the beef that we have with each other, it really, especially when you've been together for a while, a lot of times it has to do with that thing that you did back then that hurt them.
Mm.
And so as you move forward, now they're like, I remember that. And so if I relax and just live in the moment, then I could possibly be hurt again. So I got to keep reminding myself of what you did, because what you did is who you are. All of this other stuff is cute and everything, but what you did is who you are. And I'm not going to get hurt like that again. And when you live in when you live in that kind of pattern, it's the crazy pattern. Because now when she's doing all of the stuff that comes towards you and you like it, but you want to remind yourself of who she was that hurt you, now you stuck. And so then you got to retreat. And then when you start retreating, she feels abandoned. It's just a crazy cycle. I'm telling you that one of the things, if we don't, as a Black people, have counselors, bruh, we are doing ourselves a horrible disservice.
Yes.
You got to have a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a counselor. If you don't have a counselor, chances are you got a lot of stuff in your blind spots that you don't even know, you know? So one of the things I want to talk about today was based off kind of like that conversation that we had in the tent. It's this. A lot of times we have conversations with each other, and there are things that we want and need and desire from the opposite sex, whether that's your spouse, whether that's your boo, your bae, or whether that is just the opposite sex in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic today is my part of it, two parts. What do you wish the opposite sex would say to you? And also, what do you wish, without judgment, that you could say to the opposite sex? Free and clear. Let me give you mine. So I think, especially men in particular, we really wish the opposite sex would tell us how proud of us they are, how much they respect us. And the other thing is for them to say, I trust you. So, I'm really proud of you. Or, I respect you. Or, you know what? I really trust you.
Mm.
Those are things that do something to us when we hear it. All right. So here's the things we wish we could say. For me, just because we want to spend time by ourselves, don't mean that we're trying to reject you or trying to abandon you. It's just that, guys, we need time by ourselves, period. And that's how we unwind. We need rest. And even when we come home, we look like we're not doing anything. Oh, baby, we are doing something. We are recharging. We need that. And the other thing is this, that I wish we could tell women that, yo, you really do need to like have friends. You got to have friends because I can't be like your everything. I can't because it's too much pressure. If I'm your everything, if I mess up a little bit, you immediately notice it. Why? Because you don't have like friends outside of me. You don't have activities outside of me. So we can say that without judgment. Oh, what you trying to say? We can say that without judgment. We'll be winning. Make sense?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have it's not nothing I'm looking for the opposite sex to say to me. I mean, I don't know. I talk pretty transparently. So most of the things that I guess what guys are saying that I don't have that issue because I talk pretty open. So the people that are around me in my circle, not just my fiance, but like the female friends that I have, we talk transparent and open. So I'm not really expecting anything of that nature.
But what do you like though?
What do I like?
Yes.
As far as what they say?
Yeah.
No, I just like we're open. We push each other. We can hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? We come to each other for advice. You know what I mean? So I keep that on the table.
Right.
But there are two statements I would like to say that, you know, I say to some people and then it gets offensive. So the first one I wrote down is don't block your future holding on to your past. So something that a lot of men see in the dating world, they be dating certain women and they still kind of be having some holdings onto the ex. And they can't fully move forward because they still have a hand on the ex the whole time. But they want the person they're dating to be free and clear, whatever they got going on, while they still have a backup plan. And I tell women a lot of times, like, leave yourself open to the possibility of the person you're supposed to be with could be a complete stranger. You know what I'm saying? But if you always wonder, like, maybe somebody from the past or maybe somebody I've seen before or maybe somebody I dated before we can rekindle, as long as you're holding on to that, you are going to think everybody's trash because you're going to kind of, and by default, kind of be comparing. Oh, well, Steve was like this and well, Mike was like this and this, that, and the third. Instead, just let whoever that is go, no matter what the outcome is, and move on to the next person.
But you know how difficult that is, though?
It is difficult. But I say that's why I want to normalize saying it. You can't really full-heartedly wonder like what's next while you're still holding on what was. See what I'm saying?
But even if you're not holding on to it, though, sometimes it's like, okay, let's say for instance, it was a traumatic experience or it was something that you got hurt. Like I still remember Willette Bailey. You know, she hit me up on Instagram. She's like, "Why are you telling people that?"
Because her whole name.
Willette Bailey.
Can we bleep that?
Willette.
No, we're not. No, don't bleep it.
Willette. Her dating name Willie.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you
It is.
bleep that name out, please? Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Willette Bailey. So
Yeah,
anyway,
just gonna keep saying it.
Willette.
No, it was.
I like the name.
I was dancing.
I know she at least 72.
No, stop it. Okay, we same age.
Willette.
So we were on the dance floor, and I wasn't really a dancer like that. As you know, I was Church of God in Christ kid, saved, sanctified. You know, she pulled me on the dance floor. Come on, let's dance. Man, she was dancing with me. She put all that body on me. I had never experienced that before in my little young life.
Apparently, just experienced it again.
And listen, hey.
Oh, Willette.
so I'm standing there like I'm kind of stuck, you know, like
Right.
She's like, "Hey, dance." I said, and she said, "Oh," and she walked off and left me on the floor standing there, and I'm like, "I'm a dance, I'm a dance. Come back, I'm a dance." Oh my God, it's still embarrassing to this day. But
Can you dance?
I can dance now. I learned. You know why?
You learned because of Willette.
Because of Willette Bailey.
I'm so sorry,
Okay.
Miss Bailey.
I'm just go back to my point. I don't want to keep
She
pushing on
wasn't
Willette.
bad. I'm saying that there are things that can happen in the past that can make you say, "Oh, I don't want to do this because of what happened."
Yeah, but I'm saying no.
I think he's talking about hanging on to actual relationships,
I'm talking about
not
actual
trauma.
relationship. I think you took me left.
That was a relationship with Willette
I'm gonna
Bailey.
ask her. I don't think
Can
she.
you
I'm gonna
follow
look
on
her
Facebook?
up.
Because she
Yeah,
got
she on
5 friends.
Facebook.
Oh, you're not going to besmirch Willette.
You besmirched her.
I didn't I want.
Because I'm sure everybody calls her Willie.
No, they don't. That's enough.
A Letty.
That's enough, guys.
It's Letty. Oh yeah, but nah, Tiny understood what I was saying.
Yeah.
Don't hold on to your left. You can't
be
out-
dipping in
You can't be out here trying to
two
see
pots.
what William talking about, but you still texting David every day like, "Hey David, what's up? What you gonna do? We gonna make a move?"
Right.
All right. So then that leads to the second statement I would like to say. Don't be scared to put you first as a woman. And I think men got to start normalizing saying that too, because women are walking around like not scared. I don't want to say scared. That's too big of a word, but like, I want to say this to him, but I think he might think this. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to say this about us dating, to kind of, are we official? Are we this? Or are we moving like this? Or what are your intentions with me? Like, a lot of women want to say that, but they be like, well, maybe it's too early. I don't want to run them off. Listen, put you first. Because sometimes you gotta have those intentional conversations because sometimes you need to see how he responds. And then if he responds the opposite of what you want, you just saved yourself some time.
Right.
But if you stick around and be like, oh, what's the right time? Maybe I'll wait 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. You might get to the 119th day and then finally say that stuff. And he had the same response he would have had if you'd have said it within 2 weeks. So put you first. It might cause some no's, might cause some walkaways, but as long as you first, you take care of you and you waste less time. So that's what I would say to the community of women.
When you stop putting yourself first, though?
Well, when I'm talking
when do you stop in a relationship?
I think I can answer this question because women are under pressure all the time. There's, oh, you're going to die alone. You're going to be the cat lady. You're not going to have any kids. And so we're constantly afraid of being by ourselves. And so when that happens, it's like we're willing to do almost anything to keep this person in our lives. And it don't always be a dude sometimes. It could be friends.
Yes.
We tolerate their crap. We let them say and do anything. Jobs that you stick around too long. Any and everything. So anything is better than nothing. Men
do that with jobs too, but not with relationships. But I get what you're saying, though. Yeah.
But anything is better than nothing. And so we start making concessions, for, I'm a romantic person. I want flowers. I want you to, tell me you think I'm pretty, that you love me and all this stuff. Like I need all of the Twilight series roses and, all of that. I need all of that.
And that's okay.
But you sitting up with a dude who don't do none of it. And because you don't want to lose him,
boom,
you just be like, oh, well, it ain't really that big of a deal. Yes, it is, sis. Yeah. If that's what you want, say what you want. If he's not willing to do that, then he's obviously not the guy for you.
Thank you.
So it's not a problem to say, I don't want this. Because, and my thing at the end of the day, what do you be holding on to? Sometimes we be holding on to people that really don't. Baby, if you let them go, you might be doing better.
That's
sometimes.
Now you don't see what I'm saying?
The nigga might be,
now your stuff coming out.
The man might be holding you back. That's all I'm saying.
Get him right. You know what I'm saying?
That's
all I'm saying.
Get you. You want to hear what I was saying? She felt what I was saying.
I heard what you were saying.
No, you didn't feel it though.
And then too, sometimes KD, to your point, when you say sometimes people don't have enough friends and things like that, I experienced that with someone, and it is, oh my gosh, it's so damaging because you're sitting up all day long waiting on me to text, waiting on me to come and play with you and be your friend and talk about my day, and I'm like, I had a guy literally one time, I was out with a friend, and he was like, hey, what you doing? I'm out with so-and-so. I know you're out with so-and-so, silly. What are you doing? I said, okay. So I said, okay, this is what I'm doing. Oh, really? I was just there and I didn't see you.
Oh, no. No, you didn't. No, he didn't. Why did he know where you were?
I said, yeah, this will be my last time talking to you.
Why did he know where you was?
Because he might be a psycho. The thing was he had nothing else going on. I had to break it with him. I had to break it off with him because I said, listen, I'm way too busy for you to be this hurt every time I don't text right back or respond to you on social media. I don't, baby, my daddy told me a long time ago, you don't want no man that ain't got no business. Because if you can sit around on the phone all day and what you doing? Where you at? Baby, you can't be making no money.
Where you at?
But honestly, it's the same thing with, men and women. It's relationships in general.
Yes.
We want to know you got to have something else going on. Because if you don't have something going on, especially with a busy person, you're going to be disappointed a whole lot.
Man.
Yeah.
I like that you said that because I told that became one of my things on my list. You can't date people that don't have friends because they need too much of your attention, too much of your time. Like I love to hear Jazz like, hey man, the girls are going boom, peace. That helps y'all. Like,
y'all need some money?
Boom, boom.
Honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie. So when Ivy's friends come over, I'm like, man, I'm super happy because one thing about it is, like, they're gonna tell her, they're gonna feed her in a way that when she shows up for me, it's different. Like I don't have to be the one to continually fill you, but also this, like, when she is going left, oh yeah, they're gonna check her. They going to, without question, I'd be like, ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. Because I can't say it. You know why? Because she has not authorized me to be her life coach. So I can't tell her the tough stuff.
Wait,
are you licensed as a...
Can you rewind that?
This is pretty good. Now, this is the moment. So sometimes I personally get excited about something, and then I want to show her, like, yo, I learned this, and I see that you deal with this too. I want to show you this. But if it's the tough stuff, if she has not authorized me to speak to that specific place in her life, then yeah, I can say it and I can be right, but I will lose something because she never invited me into that space to speak to that space. And that's okay too. There are a lot of other spaces that I can speak to, but there are certain spaces, guess what? She can't hear that stuff from me.
Oh,
she got to hear it from her friends.
I didn't realize you were gonna break it down like that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant overall. I'm like, nobody can be a spouse's life coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I say life coach, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like some of the tough stuff that you got to hear from somebody that you feel sees you and understands you, and they can speak to that specific place in your life. Like, hey, you getting out of bed and you're not doing your hair every day? Punkin. This ain't my wife. I'm saying. Punkin. Right. No, ma'am. You're not going to do that. You're not going to. Yeah, you got a whole husband. You're not doing that. No, that's not your friend. That's your husband. You're going to fix that. Does he complain about it? Yeah, but he be tripping. That's a thing. You need to get that. And we all have to have people in our lives that can check us when we get out of pocket, because we all get out of pocket. But that just doesn't mean that the person, oh my goodness, this is a great conversation. Because I think a lot of times you got those relationship coaches and those relationship people online, and they say stuff and we get triggered so bad. You know why? Because I didn't give you the authority to speak to that place in my life. So what you do is you get triggered, or you talk about it, or you block them, or you move past it. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, if we would just look at it from a different perspective and say, okay, got you. That part right there makes sense. This part right here don't make sense. But I'm saying that we have to authorize the person to speak to that place in our lives. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you.
No, real talk. You got to be able to have a person, whether it's a therapist, like for me, Mike Gamble, Derwin Davis, different people that can speak to me and say, yo, bro, you were out of pocket.
From the game?
No, not that one. We go through that every time when I say his name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why you calling Derwin Davis?
Yeah.
Why call him his real name?
But
Pooch?
yeah, real talk. You got to have somebody that can speak to that part.
You know what? When you break it down simple like that, I can see that with people. But yeah, you can't just be like the person like, I know everything more than you. Like, that's how it's going to look. But some people aren't ready to receive certain information from you. But you as a person, you have to limit yourself to what you're trying to talk to everybody about as well. Mm-hmm. Like, if somebody comes to me and asks me like a lot of questions, I mean, I'm no coach or no nothing like that. But if they ask me something, if they receive it and then they come back and ask something else, I'll do it again. Mm-hmm. But if I tell them something and then they don't even move on it, then they ask me something similar, I'm like, well, I'm not in a place where I can tell you these kind of things. You might need to talk to somebody that's more professional than I am. And that's me protecting my own energy. I don't want to waste my energy talking to you about something that, you know, I feel like I can tell you or help you with, and then you don't follow none of those steps. We're just going to be circling the same conversation over and over and over and over and over.
Man, you know how many wives hit me up on Instagram or hit me up on my email or whatever website, and they'll say, yo, can you talk to my husband? No. I ask the first question. I say, does he know who I am? If she says no, I can't talk to him. All right, you send him some videos. If he like that, he can reach out. Or if I say, does he know who I am? Yes. Does he like me? If he does, you give him my number. If he reaches out, then I'll talk to him. That means if he reaches out to me, then he gave me the authority to speak to him in that capacity, because you already know what it is. So I think that sometimes just because we know the truth, we start saying stuff, but everybody ain't gonna hear from you. Even if it's the truth, anybody gonna hear from you. That's what that is. So what are your two?
I think that this has always been my experience in relationships. I feel like men don't always say when they have certain issues with things because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to argue, or they don't want it to be a long, drawn out conversation. And my thing is, if it's a long, drawn out conversation or an argument, then that might be a problem. But it also could be, okay, we don't have to talk about this anymore. Like, you brought it to my attention. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to actively be consciously working toward improving this area that you saw a problem in, and now we can move forward in a healthier space. But a lot of times dudes just like, well, I just didn't want to, I didn't feel like arguing. Okay, well, now we're arguing. So did that work?
You said something right there.
Because now I'm upset, because when I bring up something that you did, now you tell me about something that happened 6 months ago.
Oh yeah, now it sounds tit for tat.
And and I'm like, bro, why you didn't say it when? Just tell me, okay? And I think that's fair. But I want, like the conversation we had last week, I think that in general, people need to be more open in their relationships. You just need to be more honest and talk about what it is that you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you need, what you don't like, what you need more of, what you would like less. Like, I don't care what it is. Just tell me what it is. Let me make my own decision about how I'm going to respond to what you asked me for. Either way, either you save some time.
That part.
And get the hell out of Dodge, or you can consciously work toward making the situation healthier.
We have to normalize being transparent.
Don't you think, though, how matters?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The delivery is everything.
Yeah. How matters. And I think that sometimes we can say things in a way that can throw people off. Like, if you just said it differently, I would have heard it differently. But you ain't say it differently. You said it like that. And even with that, I think if we would just learn how to just understand when a person says, no, I didn't mean it like that. I said it wrong. Okay. All right. Well, then tell me what you meant. I meant this. Okay. Yeah. Well, you said it like that. You probably need to say it like that again because it doesn't land well with me. But I think what we end up doing is we hold a person at what they said and not what they meant. You know, we do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we honestly want to have transparency, especially with this men-women conversation that's floating around, the manosphere is, hey man, I respect them, but sometimes they bugging. Yo, I'm never gonna be that guy that's like, I'm anti-marriage. Yo, you can miss me with that. I'm never gonna be that guy. But I'm also never gonna be that super feminist, strong, I'm woman, that I don't need no man. I'm never gonna agree with that. I just think there's gotta be a way that we can get together, we can have conversations and step over the triggers, because there's triggers everywhere.
Right.
It's triggers everywhere. If we can find a way to step over those and understand, hey, man, honestly, we really want the same thing. Do you know that love and hate is kind of like the same thing? You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really? Because it's to hate somebody, that's passion. To love somebody, that's passion. You know what is not love or hate? Indifference. If I don't got to talk to you, if I don't care nothing about it, if I don't like, I'm good, that's the part where it's like the opposite of.
Mm-hmm.
Like the opposite of love, the opposite of hate is indifferent. And I don't think that we're indifferent to each other. I think we genuinely care. We genuinely have something that we need from each other, and we need each other. But I just think that, man, sometimes when we get caught up on that hurt part, it's tough. It's tough. And our tone don't be right, and we talking crazy, and just a lot. I know we need each other. And if we can find a way to do that, then we'll win. There you go. Find a way to do that, we'll win. Did you have another one?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
I just want people to be honest. I think that will solve a lot of problems in relationships. That I always tell people, my number one thing to fix relationships is stop trying to force people to be with you that don't actually like you. Because, we'll sit up in relationships with folks. Like, I shouldn't have to beg you to show me affection,
To like me.
to call me and ask me how my day was,
Right.
or to invite me out to spend time with me, to be intentional about getting to know me. I shouldn't have to do that for someone who claims to want to be in my life. If you're not doing it, what else am I supposed to do? Like, you want me to assume that you feel a certain type of way about me? I'm not going to do it. I'm not a fortune teller, a mind reader, none of that. So I think it's important for us to deal with people who want to deal with us. And when you find those people, be honest with them. Let them know up front what you got going on. Because a lot of times we take people's decision-making away. And we decide, well, I just ain't going to share this part of me. Nah, I need to know if you bipolar. I need to know if your mama be tripping sometimes. I need to know if you got daddy issues. Like, I need to know that because I can deal with all those things. But what I can't deal with is liars.
On like the first date?
I don't care if it's the first, third, second, 15th. I don't care. I need to know. Let me make my own decision because I can deal with all those things. I've experienced drug addiction. I've experienced mama's boys. I've experienced abandonment and narcissism and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I know how to treat those things. But lying, secrecy, manipulation, I don't know how to treat that other than cut you off.
But we all have some level. So lying and dishonesty, are they the same thing?
I think they have levels. I think that you lie and you're dishonest in many ways. You can outright tell a lie, something that ain't true, or you can withhold information. And sometimes people give you half of the story to get you to make a certain decision, which is still manipulation. And so I feel like if you're going to treat me like that, then I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah. So facts on that. Okay, I got you. I feel like when there are levels to it. I don't want to know all of it. Like for me, you can't drop all that stuff on me in the beginning because I don't like you enough to endure all of that. I just thought you was pretty. You can't tell me, yeah, I got all this other stuff going on. Now, what you can tell me is I have a very complicated life. I'm working through it, but I enjoy my life. I do the best I can, whatever. Give me something that will at least let me say, I'm going to give you a second date. If you drop all that stuff on me in the beginning, yeah, it's a wrap. Now, you might be able to handle it.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like those conversations should be had because those things greatly affect the way we show up in relationships, as do mental illnesses and anxiety and depression. And if you can't be honest about what you're dealing with, you can't have a successful relationship.
And we also got to get better about how we reciprocate things. Like, I think when we want certain things in our relationships, we want the whole foundation to just happen overnight. You got to be able to receive one brick at a time.
Yeah,
Let's say you date a
facts.
guy that doesn't clean up, right? And I know women, y'all had a tendency to say things to certain guys multiple times. Like, hey, baby, you know, why you leave your t-shirt over here? You know, why you didn't pick that up when you got the shower? Or, hey, why you didn't put the plate in the sink instead of on the counter? You know, whatever. And then finally, you know, you're like, you should help me clean up a little more. Then the guy cleans up, and then he don't clean up the way you clean up. And now you're like, hey, you ain't do it the way I want to do it. That's what you just did. Now he's never going to clean up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because no matter what I do, you're going to complain about it.
You're going to complain anyway. So if you're going to complain regardless, I'm just going to stay in my same position. And when I see a lot of people that have those type of struggles, I'm like, you have to start accepting when he's trying. You have to accept that he's trying a little bit. Acknowledge the trying.
Celebrate the base hits.
Celebrate the base hits. Everything's not going to be a home run. Like, you might clean up better than him. You know what I mean? Or you might be better with the kids than him. Or
Facts, bro.
You might pick groceries better than him. But if he go to the grocery store one day and surprise you and just happen to grab the wrong soup, you wanted Campbell's and he got the Kroger kind, you know, hey, babe, I appreciate this soup, but, you know, this has more sodium.
I wouldn't even say nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, I really appreciate you going to the groceries for me. Next time I'm going to sneak and do it. You'll come back and the refrigerator will be full.
You see what I'm saying?
I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
And there it is. Receive.
Yeah.
You got to receive, too. That's part of the communication pattern, too. We got to be able to receive stuff. Thank you for that.
That's a huge, that's good, man. Real good. So you brought up something I thought was interesting.
What was that?
Dating after 30.
Yes. So I had a conversation with a couple of people last week. It was I think it was one of my lives that maybe triggered the questions I was getting. But I had like 3 separate people ask me like, hey, Rod, you know, I'm dating this guy. It was women that was calling me. I'm dating this guy. We've been dating this long, but he has not asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was stumped not because he hadn't asked, but I was like, after 30, do you still have to like ask out loud, will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? Like, I don't know what that's like. I don't think I've asked not even the last 3 girls that I've dated to be my girlfriend. I think I let my actions speak. But is that a thing? I guess I would start with Tiny. Like, is that a thing? Like, you have to ask, like, hey, you be my girlfriend?
I was about to say, I think at our age, I think your actions should speak louder than words. But then I also know that there are a lot of men who will date you for 12 months and still be looking for the love of their life. And they will look you dead in your face and be like, so why are you single? Sir, we've been having sex since June. Like, what? I wasn't aware.
And then you find out you date somebody else.
Yeah, you know, and it's so, I mean, it's crazy. But I think for me personally, at my age, I think that the way you show up is the level of commitment. And I think maybe it's not a conversation of, hey, you my girlfriend, because I think girlfriend I don't think we use that term.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I didn't think it was used anymore.
I think, like, yo, that's my lady. That's, I'm with her or whatever. But I mean, if you spending the night at the crib and you putting groceries in the house and you making sure my oil is changed, I don't think you got the money to do that for multiple people. But if you do,
No, I get that.
Touche.
So on that, so let me tell you the example one of the young ladies gave me. She says important for introductions. Why it needs to be established. So let's say me and you were dating, right? And I take you to a barbecue. And I got cousins there, I got homegirls there, I got homeboys there. And I'd be like, yo, this is Tiny. She said for her, that was a problem. I said, I didn't think about it.
How long were they dating?
I mean, let's just go with 2 or 3 months. But until she said that, I was like, the way I just stopped just now, that's how I stopped. I was like, I've never even paid attention to that. Like, I've never paid attention to, like, if I was with somebody new and they introduced, I thought they just said, hey, this is Rod. I didn't think they was like, yo, this is my girlfriend or this is my boyfriend.
You wasn't into him like that then. Trust me, you would recognize.
No, I don't think. I think about.
I don't know
it.
that. I was about to say, I don't know that it triggers me that much.
Let me tell you something. If you was into a dude and you walked up to an event that we were doing and all these baddies around here and he introduces you as Tiny,
man, I'm one of the baddies. I'm one of the baddies.
But
I don't have that issue.
You want him.
Never had that problem.
Facts. But you want him to claim this baddie.
Sorry, can't relate.
And not seem as though you are available to those baddies.
I mean, men do that.
But that's
they put their hand on the nape of your back.
Okay.
They go get you a drink.
Yeah.
I feel like there are other ways. I feel like there are other ways that men claim their territory. They leave stuff at your house. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Do they?
They leave stuff at your house.
No, sir.
And now I put it in the mail.
Okay, because no.
Because you're gonna get it back if you know. But no, I feel like it's all very much convoluted. If we just have conversations to clear all this up, like, bro, you know what it is. I'm texting you every day. I'm kicking it with you. I'm making sure your lights is on. You got food in the crib. You tripping because I didn't tell a bunch of people who essentially don't matter.
Right.
That you my girlfriend.
A title.
Yes.
I don't trip over stuff like that.
Yeah. You need
So-
it.
Now if we out somewhere and you in the section getting a lap dance, that's a difference. You clearly single, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
That's-
single.
I mean, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
dramatic
that's a
disrespect.
different.
But I don't think. But I don't think in my DNA.
Well.
In my DNA, I don't think if I went to an event with Jazz when we first was dating, and she's like, "Hey y'all, this is Rod." She'd be like, "This is Rod, the one I was telling you about." Or
First
whatever.
start dating is different.
But here's the thing:
But people are
the
mad.
one I was telling you about. That's your title right there. You think I'd be going home talking about everybody?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like there are other ways that people claim their territory.
So what? So I don't think that the question is. To me, it's not so much the question what he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend.
Mhm.
I think it's more so he hasn't made it clear where we're going. Because you don't have to have the title per se when you're with each other. I do agree you have to have the title when you're out and about. Because if you're around something about, you may be different. You may be different. I'll give you that.
Mhm.
But let me show up somewhere when me and Ivy was dating, and I'll be like, this is Ivy. Boy, I wish I
She
would.
would've lost it?
Oh my God! So I'm Ivy. So I don't have
what did you?
I don't have a.
Role play. What did you? You're with Ivy. You're meeting me at a
Sir,
football. Let's
sir, let me stop you there.
Go ahead.
I didn't do it because I
Wow.
didn't wake up choosing violence. I know better. I know my wife. She wants to know that you are claiming her. It's all about the claim. It's all about the claim. If you say this is her, that ain't got nothing to do with you. This is Tiny. What I got to do? Tiny is your what?
I feel like let somebody ask that question specifically. If that, I don't know. It's just not a huge deal for me.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just not. And I think because I'm so easygoing in relationships, I have all my other own things going on. So if you misstep and don't say this, it don't trigger me.
So watch this. Okay, all right, you ready? So you go to an event with your dude, all right?
Okay.
And then you say, hi, this is my dude, or this is Roger. Okay, hi, this is Roger, all right? Hey, Roger, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Then you get by yourself. And then your girls say, yo, who's Roger? You're going to say what?
The guy that I've been sleeping with for the past 6 months.
I'm
just playing, Mama. I'm just playing.
Right, Mama, because that.
But
I haven't slept with
what I'm
nobody.
saying is, but you,
I don't know. But I don't
Shit,
know.
that lady gonna kill me.
but I'm saying you claim him.
yeah, but
Whether
it's
you
not,
claim him out here or whether you claim him right here with this friend, you claim him. And all the guy or girl wants you
agreeing
to
with
do
you.
is, there you go. It's
I'm
a claim.
agreeing with you. What I'm saying is it don't have to be a formal introduction of, hey, everyone in here who don't really matter. This is a girl that I like. I'm calling her my girlfriend. I've been with her. We talking, we kicking it. Like, it doesn't
I
have to
agree.
be a
And
grand
you
show.
ain't gotta do
And
that.
I've heard that announcement. Have you ever
Yeah, I
been
don't
to a
have
party?
time.
I've
I
heard that
will
announcement.
leave.
Somebody walking to the barbecue.
Some people think it is adorable. Oh my gosh, he embarrassed me so much, and they love it the whole time, loving it.
Man, listen.
Because some people, we all desire to be claimed by someone that we want and desire. I want to know what my place is in your
Yeah,
life.
you know how you claim me? Plan a proposal dinner in front of my whole family, and I mean hire a videographer from a helicopter and release doves, and that's how you do that.
Purple Rain.
Because before that, none of it really means anything anyway.
That part. All right. Well, let's reverse it then. What's that conversation when like you're becoming official? Like, how do you have that conversation after 30 outside of action?
You say, hey, listen, I've dated and everything, but I'm at the place in my life where I won't waste time. If I'm going to be with someone, I'm dating for the purposes of marriage. I wanted to go somewhere. So if you're not marriage minded, hey, bro, I ain't even hating on it. But yeah, I don't even want you to waste your time because at this point in my life, I'm moving towards marriage. I'm marriage minded, and I'm looking for a wife, or I'm looking for a husband. If it's not in those parameters, hey man, I appreciate you. We could be friends, but nah, I don't And even still,
that's still farther down.
Even still, I don't even want to be like friends like that.
Women don't have that conversation though. Men have to have.
That's what I'm saying. You're still past.
Women should have that conversation. That's what I'm saying.
We don't control relationships though. Y'all are the gatekeepers. We can't be like, oh, that's my man, and you be like, I don't really want a commitment right now.
Okay, so that's a very good distinction. So here's what happens though. Even though we do control relationships, you control whether or not we have a relationship with you.
Right, absolutely.
Meaning, if you make access easy, then yeah, there's nothing we're going to do to move out of the way. Nothing, because the access was too easy. I got you. I did everything I possibly could do. We good. We straight. So now what's left to do? I got the milk. I need the cow.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you're talking about solidifying a commitment between two people, that's not a conversation that a woman can initiate because it's back to what Rod said. It's going to go one of two ways.
What she expects.
What I'm saying is it don't work like, Katie, you're not listening. You're not listening. Men do not like to be pressured into relationships. Okay? If I'm talking to somebody and he ain't brought up commitment in a relationship, why would I bring it up?
You bring it up in the beginning. Not commitment. Okay. You bring up what your intentions are. In the beginning, you say, hey, honestly, I am moving towards marriage. And I can tell you this, I like you. I would like to see what it is, but I need to know in the beginning, before we even kick this off. I'm not a fun time girl. I'm not that person. I can have a great time with the rest of them. However, at this point in my life, I'm looking to be married. I want to be a wife. I want to be a mother. I want to be all those things. And you say that up front. I'm not saying it's going to be you, but I'm telling you where my mind is. And I have a very low tolerance of patience for stuff that's way too far outside of that. I'm not going to be dating forever.
So you can have that conversation up front, but we can't talk about childhood trauma.
No, you can't talk about childhood trauma. No, not on the first date. No, ma'am.
Okay. So we can propose marriage.
No, not propose marriage. You can talk about your expectations.
Okay.
And I don't think that there should be any fear or any kind of trepidation with being able to say that.
I agree. Cool. I just think it might be the last date.
Cool. Perfect. Wonderful non-time waster. Thank you, sir. Love the how you like your steaks?
Medium.
I love the medium steak at Roof Chris. You were amazing. Thank you. That's it.
Boom.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
That's my thought. But hey, man, what y'all think? You let us know. Hit us up. Tell us. Because we dying to know. There you go. Tiny, you brought this up, and it was one of those things I said, man, it kind of hit home for me. You're talking about Simone Biles.
Yeah, I think that I applaud her decision to withdraw from certain events in the Olympics this year because she said basically, she didn't feel mentally she was her strongest. And you have to think at what she puts her body through every day. Mm-hmm. One wrong move, you're paralyzed for the rest of your life.
But so she said having ADHD and taking medicine for it is nothing to be ashamed of, nothing that I'm afraid to let people know. Okay, so it's clear that she takes ADHD medicine, but we don't fully know why she was pulling out of the
I mean, her withdrawal might not have had anything to do with her ADHD. She might have been completely stressed and maxed out emotionally, mentally, and decided, I don't want to hurt myself or someone else. So let me take some time, get myself together. Because again, one wrong move, you're paralyzed for the rest of your life. And I feel like the same thing. We talked about this with Naomi Osaka when she decided, I'm not going to do any more press conferences because it's not good for my mental health. And everybody had everything negative to say. Oh, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Oh, this is what you signed up for. I didn't sign up to be bullied online and emotionally strained every day and quite honestly, bullied in press conferences because they do that sometimes. And so my thing is I feel like Black women everywhere are deciding to say, y'all ain't finna stress us out. You can shut up talking to us. I'm going to do what's best for me. And I appreciate that because every person needs to understand that you have limits and boundaries that you need to stick to when it's important. You got to put yourself first.
So she's reading tweets. So people are saying, so she says, so she likes the tweets that reveal just how dangerous her vault was and how she could have literally died if she hadn't withdrawn from the Olympic final. Yeah, I get that. And I understand it. I have ADHD. And trust me, it is not a pleasant day, when you don't have the meds or like my friend Robin May, she does it the non-medicine way. Just kind of processes it and all that kind of stuff. I ain't got none of that. I don't do that. I guess the challenge is when she decided to come back into the Olympics. I think she's performing today. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I guess what people would say is, so you pick and choose when you want to be in and when you want to be out. That's what I would imagine the detractors are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But in actuality, yeah, that's exactly right.
Say,
you
shouldn't
pick
we all?
and choose. Yeah, you pick and choose. It is what it is. And I don't know. I don't know if either of you have dealt with any of that in your family or that chemical dependency or whatever. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You
have to be
chemical
understanding.
imbalance is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a lot.
You have to be understanding because sometimes it looks like rebellion. Sometimes it looks like blatant disregard for authority. Sometimes it shows up as just nonchalant, not being concerned with anybody else. It's sometimes it just don't always show up the way that we think it should show up.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a real understanding of the disorder and how it can make you feel, because it's not about what I'm displaying, it's about what's going on up here.
Yeah.
And we can't be in somebody's head.
Yeah.
Who am I to say that? Oh, she could have did them last two events. I don't know that.
And then I don't know how what the sources are, but I read something in USA Today that said that some of the meds she took for ADHD weren't allowed in Tokyo. So I don't know how true that is, but that could be a problem too.
Right.
And then it's nobody's business if that is a situation because she needs to deal with that personally. That's her personal issue. And that goes back to what you said, like Naomi not want to do those press conferences. Sometimes when you're dealing with something, you don't want to talk to nobody about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to make your decision, move forward, and get the hell on somewhere. But, thanks to social media, you got to speak to everybody all the time, even when you off.
And it's sad. And let me tell you something. Just because people feel empowered because they have a microphone and they in the press room, so they ask you anything that they want to ask you, some stuff that ain't even none of their business, but they are watching your response. And, now people are making the picture bigger and they focusing in on certain things. It's a lot. It's a lot to be in this culture. And we can't say, back in the day, they was more mentally stronger. Nah, it doesn't always work like that. No, back in the day, they had to deal with this.
Right. It's a whole different ball game.
No, it's a whole different ball game. So you got to have different people that can help you walk through that. And that's a great perspective. I didn't even think about that. Yep. The social media aspect of it. Like you got all these reporters and everything. And people go dumb. And then they fact check everything you said way back when. They pull up a tweet you had in 2015, bring it up and say, it's just funny you should say that because I noticed you're saying that today, but in 2015 you said XYZ. Like people can't change and adjust and morph. It's the craziest thing, man. Simone, do your thing, girl. Anybody
rock out, girl.
We are rooting for you, sis.
What's best for you?
Rooting for you.
Take care of you first.
The baby is
no, it's not the baby.
The baby.
Thank you.
The baby.
You know what? You can't get
the baby. She thinks
it's the baby. The baby.
The baby. Yeah. I appreciate the correction.
The baby.
Yeah. That's the rapper, right?
Yep.
The baby.
The baby.
The baby.
So he's in trouble. He was on stage, and we're not going to play that clip. I don't want to play it. It's a lot to it. And if you haven't seen it, then, there you go.
I didn't know, so can y'all kind of fill me in?
So he was on stage. Tiny.
All right. Well, in the middle of one of the baby's concerts, he, you know how they tell you put your lights on your phones, hold your phones up and stuff like that. So he was saying, "Oh, my ladies, if your hoo-ha smell like water, put your phone in the air. My fellas, if you don't have HIV or AIDS and then blah, 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 put your phones in the air." And then he said, if you're not performing fellatio in the parking lot, put your phones up. And
if you don't have a
DJ, if you don't have any kind of diseases, and his DJ was like, yeah, because be sus, like suspect, like gay,
right?
And so the problem with that is it's the correlation between gay and AIDS, and it was just a lot. It was very.
Was it intentional?
I don't know that it was intentional. I just think it was careless and inconsiderate. And I think that he's. I may regret saying this in the future, but I think he's a hood with money, and he has not been properly educated on how to. He don't have no PR training.
I think that you can, I mean, so freedom of speech is still a thing. You know, you have the freedom of speech. You just don't have freedom from the consequences of
Right.
speech. You know, you don't have that. And like when I watch him and I watch T.I. and they're talking and everything, okay, hey, man, listen, I get it. I understand it. There are times in which I probably was in that same space trying to get the understanding. But honestly, hey, man, when somebody says, ouch, you got to listen
Right.
to what they're saying. Because what we end up doing is when a person says, ouch, we start talking about, we go straight to the action. Well, I didn't mean to do it like that. No, you say, I'm sorry.
But this is what happened, though.
Hey, man,
we can have a conversation after you apologize for what you did.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
So he
about
had
that.
no remorse or accountability.
He doubled down.
He doubled down.
Yeah, he doubled down.
What was the double down?
And he said, I mean, it's content posted on his social media.
He was
so it
explaining
came
himself.
from him.
For saying it.
Yeah.
So it was intentional.
It was intentional, but he didn't intentionally mean to hurt anyone, in my opinion. I think that it was intentional. He was just being him, okay?
I think they write the same thing in their songs. A lot of these rappers write the same. They make the same comments. Lil Wayne has dropped the F-bomb in music before. I'm not talking about F-U-C-K.
I know what you mean.
So it's like, I feel
if
like,
you go to the 90s rap, it's replete.
Yeah, it's horrible.
With that. Yeah.
so I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not saying that they're intentionally meaning to hurt a certain group of people. What I'm saying is your carelessness has put you in a space where you have intentionally hurt a group of people.
Correct.
So,
Got that.
and I think that we have to be educated as a people because we're moving things are very much evolving. And you have to understand that regardless of how you feel about what the next person does in with their life, whatever, there has to be a level of respect. Because what if my mother was a lesbian? You know, what if my father was gay or something like that? People take stuff personally.
No, I get that.
It's not like you're giving him a compliment on stage, you know, and to his detriment, he's had plenty of endorsements pulled. He's been pulled off of certain concerts. I think the Governor's Ball in New York, he got pulled from that.
Well, DJ Academics, he put out a tweet, and I thought his perspective was, I guess, a little interesting as well. He said these companies got to choose whether they are prioritizing the art or morality, because they all seem like hypocrites when they try to get on the high horse canceling artists. Hip-hop is a genre filled with imperfect individuals telling stories. Why even mess with it if you want saints? Okay, I get that. Then he says, it's weird how festivals are putting out these elaborate statements about how much they care about humanity, and because it can't have the baby on their show for what he said, yet 90% of the artists they book, music is about drugs and murder, and it's totally fine to them. So, you know, you hear what he's saying and you get that, but I think that there's got to be a conversation or a fine line, whatever you want to call it, that we can kind of figure out. Because I think, honestly, that it's just really in vogue right now to align with, let's just say, certain groups. If you align with certain groups, you can be silent about everything else. But if you align with this group, it's like it's more in vogue now.
Here's the thing, KD. You don't have to align with anybody. Do no harm. I don't have to be all out picketing and rioting and marching in the streets. But I can also not say things that are debasing to your community.
Are you understanding what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I do.
The point that I'm making is the festival canceled you because you said something demoralizing and demeaning to a group of people. But your music has been doing it for dang near centuries.
So it's not what you say, but how you say it.
Not really. Not in this case. That is always the truth. But in this case, I'm saying you're picking what you're choosing to align yourself with because it's in vogue to do so. That's what I'm saying.
So basically, you're saying it's not a thing until it
not a thing. You're talking about drugs.
Until it's a moment.
Drug. Oh, come on, bro. It's drug. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that it is wrong. It is not wrong to do wrong. Mm-hmm. But there's been wrong that's been going on all along. And if the moment is to say you can't have music that ain't got drugs in it. If the moment is you can't have, music that debases women, you can't have music that's got the B word in it, okay? Then they will start saying, oh, man, we don't want them. First of all, they never going to say that because all the music is replete with music, with terms like that. But what I'm saying is right now, it's if you align with this group, then you're going to get the tweets. You're going to get all of the extra stuff. And I'm saying some of it just feels to me, even if it's the right thing to do, it feels disingenuous. Long story short, it just feels a
I can agree
little
with
bit
that.
disingenuous.
I can agree with that, but at the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do. Nope. But it just feels to me a little bit disingenuous. And I get it.
I get it. So you're saying like only when there's a hot moment, everybody jumps on that. Oh, now this is wrong. But when it's a lukewarm moment, everybody ignores it.
Because think about it. If that were the case, then if you could go back to like a lot of the music in the 90s, same thing and worse. I mean, he uses straight F word and everything in there. But
It's great times.
ain't nobody. I'm not.
But two, also social media, as we've discussed with a lot of different issues on this platform, social media has amplified everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody has a voice.
When you got bullied in school, you took your L, went home, and the next day they might have forgot about it. Now you on World Star, you everywhere. It's constantly being replayed over and over again, and more people are getting their hands on it. So whereas it was dying down, now you got a whole nother outlet done picked it up, and now we're talking about it again.
Yeah.
So it's just
Then it's a song.
everything, right? Everything's on replay all day long.
I never forget. I was a teacher when I first graduated from college, and these kids, they got in a fight in the locker room. No teachers around, nobody around, no big deal. So they got in a fight. They were country, and they went back to class. Didn't tell anybody, didn't say nothing. And then one day, or maybe 2 weeks later, they're having a roasting session. They're just roasting each other. And they, one of the jokes was kind of funny. I've always had that comedic time. And, so I'm laughing at them roasting each other, And then he like, Mr. Mick, he ain't got to say nothing to me. Look at this. Boom. Shows the fight. He had the full fight on tape. And the dude just started crying and got up and left because he pretty much took the L. But he was winning the roasting battle. And then the guy pulled out the video. He's like, how you talk about somebody when you right here?
That's crazy.
That's you.
Wow.
That's you right there. That's you on the ground.
Face
That's you.
under the
You
locker.
losing.
His life was forever
Oh man, he wanted to transfer right then.
tainted.
If he could have drove and got an apartment in another state, he would have.
You said Mr. Minger.
Yes, I was a teacher.
Why am I just hearing this?
I told you I was a band director for 2
Katie, it's
years.
because you don't invite us to your tent.
Band director is a teacher?
Yeah, I'm a teacher of music.
He teaches music. What, Katie?
Did not know that. When you said band director, I thought you said like you was like the the guy with the hat on and the
No, I
band
was,
leader.
That's the drum
I was that too.
major.
I was both. I was a drum major in high school and college, and then when I graduated from college, I was a band director. So I did them in order. So I did both. So you were kind of correct. You were half correct,
But mostly wrong.
but mostly wrong.
So what are you doing with that now?
He's such a hater.
This right here.
You ain't directing no bands now. You ain't directing no bands.
That.
Hey, all right, y'all. Listen, I appreciate you for this. This was a great conversation. Please, if you have not done so, subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to Rod Minger.
Rod Minger, hilarious.
Well, I mean, that was sort
I
of.
want to take your lines.
Yeah, I got you.
I need some lines this episode. I didn't have any lines last time. Rod Minger, hilarious.
And then he said it again.
I needed more lines.
Wow.
I'm that extra in the back that be trying to be in the camera.
Sir, please don't look into.
Tiny, a.k.a. Indescribable on all social media platforms. And Rod, please tell us about the hat because you got it on the thing. Though.
Oh, yes, man. So, man, shout out to Stillman College.
Roll the credits.
You don't disrespect my HBCU like that.
Wow.
Shout out to Stillman College. Got this from my boy Fred White. He came to a comedy show I had in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he made me a whole little warm-up suit that's Stillman based. And then I was just thinking, man, we need to represent our HBCUs more because we always wearing the Division I schools.
What's that, the Tiger?
That's the Stillman Tiger.
Huh.
Yeah.
Good.
We always wearing the Alabama stuff, the Florida stuff, and the
Clemson.
Georgia stuff.
Because Clemson is a Tiger.
Or the Clemson, and that. But this is not Clemson, though. This is Stillman.
Oh, I
Don't
know it's not.
don't miss the
Clemson.
principal.
I can look at it and tell it's not Clemson.
I know it's because it's Stillman.
Yeah.
It's the HBCU. So,
Oh, yeah.
so put some respect on it and put some lotion on that.
I was
Put some
super
lotion on that
respectful.
tone.
I was respectful.
Put some lotion on your tone, man.
Hey, man, you said it 3 times.
I
Okay?
don't
I don't know
first of all,
what's
it feels
happening
ashy.
right
my
now.
thing.
It feels ashy.
I
It
tell
feels a
you.
little ashy.
You know what?
All right, well, this was good.
The Katie Bowe Show.